Classic? Did you say college classic? Well, sure you did. So let's in touch. No, Turning Points Devotional with Dr. David Jeremiah. It's Monday, the 10th of August, 2020. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalms 35. The morning of joy. We're definitely suffering that right now. Do you know that there are people right now suffering in their lives from being molested, being raped, um, foster homes where they raise the children, they raise them by the flesh, um, adopted children who have been molested or raped or even worse. And there are even children who have had to live by the flesh because their parents were raised that way. If you ever do a study on baby boomers, you'll find out that they were that way. Baby boomers weren't raised to incest. They weren't raised to sodomy. They weren't raised to oral copulation. They're what you call spoiled children. Yes, I know, baby boomers. But why? Why are they spoiled? Well, they were raised right after the 20s, the roaring 20s. And the roaring 20s, they went crazy. I'm about to teach you a lesson, boy. You come on over here. I'm going to break your arse. This is College Classic Campus Hits. The 16th century poet St. John of the Cross wrote a poem titled Dark Night of the Soul. While his poem was about the search for ultimate union with God, the title has come to the illustrative of those periods in which the joy and light of God is dim. This is really light writing, so I can't see it that good. If not hidden, every Christian goes through occasional dark nights in their journey of faith. 2 Corinthians 4:17 is a recommended read here on this matter. The scripture does not hide the reality of dark periods in the faith life. Almost every major biblical character went through periods of doubt or suffering, but always to emerge into the light of God's presence and joy. For example, Psalms 32. David seems to have this theme in mind in Psalm 30 when he says, "Weeping may endure for a night," but he also knew that just as morning follows night, joy comes in the morning, verses 5. David wrote, "You put off my sackcloth and clothe me with gladness," verse 11. It's funny because not only do children suffer from molestation and people suffer from rape, but people and children also suffer from drunkards. Not just drug addicts, drunkards. My friend, a friend of mine, his dad was a drunk, and he'd sodomize his son. He wasn't on drugs. Vodka was the series of that matter. Vodka. You know what vodka is? Huh? Yeah, vodka. It's a true story. When I was 14 years old, 14 years old, I got drunk when I first moved to Belgarians. I got invited to one of my friends' parties from school at BGI. And the dad went to the store to go get alcohol. And we were all screaming different names of alcohol. And he says, "Excuse me." He goes, "This is not for you. This is for me." And we all started screaming more names about alcohol and all that. And he got mad at us. We got back to the house. We continued eating cake and ice cream, punch. Eventually, they went to bed, and we knocked out the alcohol. It's funny when you think about alcoholics. That night, I drank peppermint schnapps for the first time and puked my guts out. Are you currently in a dark night of the soul? Or do you know someone who is? Keep walking by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7, and look for the morning of joy to come. Turning point? If you know anybody who's an alcoholic or likes to drink, whether with their children, grandchildren, etc., and they're on their way to church or they're on their way to work and they're dropping the kids off at school and they've got a bottle of vodka and it looks like a water bottle, never mind. Only to sit and think of God, of what a joy it is. Frederick W. Faber. It's college classic campuses on TcYbarra. We all have our struggles. We all have our moments. We all have our judgments. I don't understand yours.